starts to more so resemble a battle between the instincts of these two women over the body and soul of Mima. Rumi thought that she could break Mima psychologically and drive her away from acting, but everything she does to try to draw Mima further into psychosis just ends up making her a more successful actor, and so Mima keeps diving deeper into the perfect blue and drawing up those experiences to propel herself even further. I think now is a good point to think about why the hell are we drawn to movies like this? What is so enjoyable about watching these fictional characters suffer, and to see all these shocking images which have sat in my mind for nearly 20 years now? After all, when I was 13, it was the first time in my life I had ever started to look at violent or mature media, which had always scared me shitless up to that point, and it still does for the most part when I see some fuck shit like The Boys. So why have I subjected myself to 3 whole seasons of that show's horribly gut-churning sensations? We've all heard the adage that whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Aside from how you can get antibodies from beating a sickness, this doesn't actually usually apply physically. Whatever damage you take probably makes you permanently less capable in a certain way. But the idiom is mostly devised out of the idea that emotional anguish better prepares you for more emotional anguish. Around the moment you see a piece of media where someone you care about dies and you realize that people you care about are also going to die is when you start preparing yourself for that inevitability. And for many, the only way to really compartmentalize the breadth of fuck shit that they're going to face in their lives is to get a thrilling secondhand experience of as much of it as possible, just in case they need to know what to do when the time comes. When I saw Perfect Blue at 13, it was so far over my head that only the broadest themes about exploitation in the media industry had reached me, and mostly just through the severity of that one scene. Once it became a violent murder mystery, I had mostly lost the plot, and I didn't even register phrases like dissociative identity disorder in the script because I wouldn't even really know what that was until being fascinated by the concept in Boogie Pop and Others like a year later. Trauma-based dissociation has been something like a special interest for me ever since then, and is the human condition I have the most curiosity in exploring, leading to that feeling of overstanding that I have for these scenes in the film watching it now. Something a friend once told me that stuck with me as funny is that you're not meant to lean into your own mental illness, but to lean away from it. I mostly agree, especially if your mental illness is inspiring you towards criminal activity, but I also think there can be some utility to diving into yourself, really letting the gears turn, seeing what happens. Most of the effective and successful people in this world are not normal, and they do not operate by conventional behavioral playbooks. A lot of what works would look like madness if it wasn't working, and a lot of what looks like madness might actually work if it's in the right context. The hardest part is judging from